How big is a 22 rimfire? Today we're going to find out. If you watched the last video where I looked at the 22 Stevens favorite, I talked about how when I tried to shoot the 22 rimfire, the long rifle, it split the case. And that ultimately what I found out was that it was chambered for a 22 Winchester rimfire, which is a different cartridge. So that got me to wondering, what is the difference between the two cartridges? I know probably out there's 100 people that know exactly the answer to this. I didn't know the answer to it. So I went to investigate. I went to find that out. And if you don't know it, I'm here to share what I learned with all of you. So I got a box of each. I got a 22 long rifle, I got a 22 Winchester rimfire, and I got a box of 22 Winchester mags. And I measured them. First thing I measured was I measured all of the lead, and then I went back and I measured all of the OD or diameters of the cartridges themselves. So let's start with the 22 long rifle rimfire, and I had a set of dial calipers. These are good enough for what we're doing here today. So if I measure the lead on the long rifle, the lead is 224 thousandths. Grab the 22 Winchester rimfire, measure the lead on that, 224 thousandths. Measure the lead on the Winchester Magnum, 224 thousandths. So the size of the lead or the size of the bullet is the same across all three calibers. So what's the difference? Well, if you measure the casing on the 22 long rifle rimfire, the casing itself is 224 thousandths. So in essence, it's the same dimension from the bottom to the top of that cartridge. Take the 22 Winchester rimfire and we'll measure the case on that. That's 241 thousandths. So that is 18 thousandths bigger-ish. Turn around and we'll measure the Winchester mag. The case OD on that is the same as 241 thousandths. So the reason that I was getting the splitting on those 22 long rifle rimfire was because the chamber was 18 thousandths bigger than the chamber would be for a 22 long rifle. Let's take the gun apart real quick. Okay, come apart. If I insert the long rifle into the chamber, can you hear it rattle? That's how much oversized the chamber is on this 22 Winchester rimfire over the 22 long rifle. If I take the 22 Winchester rimfire and insert it, it sits in there all the way, so it fits. It's the correct length. There's no rattling. It's a nice fit. Now, if I take the 22 Winchester mag and insert that, it doesn't seat all the way into the chamber. So why is that? Let's measure the length of the case itself. The case on the Winchester rimfire is 949. The case length on the Winchester Magnum, that one's a little hard to grab it, is 149, 1 inch 049. So the case on the 22 mag is 100 thousandths longer than the 22 Winchester rimfire. So that's why the Magnum won't seat fully into the chamber on the favorite, the Stevens favorite. Now, the bullets are all the same OD all across all three cartridges. I mentioned that there's no taper. It's a fixed length from fixed OD rather from the rim all the way to the widest part of the bullet. On the 22 Winchester rimfire, the end of the case is actually swaged into the bullet. And that's why the OD of the case is actually bigger than the OD of the bullet. Now it turns out to be the same with the Winchester Magnum. The end of that case is swaged into the bullet, and that's what holds the bullets in place, and what keeps them in place when you're chambering the cartridge. Alright guys, short video today. If you learned anything, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you've got anything else that you might know about these differences and you want to share them. Always interested in learning more. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps tell YouTube that this is a channel worth watching. Consider signing up for my Patreon page. All the money that you guys contribute go right back into the channel. If I've helped you in any way, if any of the information I've given you has been useful, please consider signing up for Patreon. I would appreciate that as well. Thanks guys for being here. I'll see you in the next video.